What's something you swore by when you were younger and haven't broken it and never will? I said that my children would never see me drunk. I didn't know then that it would be because I got sober before they were born. Never shopping at Sears because of a customer service issue. Never shopping at Kmart because of customer service. Funny how that worked out. Only help someone you have the sustained energy to help. Want a ride to work cause your car broke down? Sure. Need a ride every day cause you got a job 10 miles away without having a car? No. Promises. If I make one, I will do everything possible to make sure I keep it. So I never make one I can't keep. I was an at-risk teen. Several of my friends struggled with various addictions. I quickly realized there has to be a sober person in the room at all times, and since nobody else around could be trusted, that person would have to be me. So I decided to go full straight edge, and also to make myself a reliable person that people can count on. 20 years later, I still stand by those two decisions. It proved to be the right idea, and I don't see any reason to stop. As a kid I visited Australia and ate Vegemite, and I swore never again. 20 years later and am continuing to fulfill that pledge. Never having kids. I told my grandma when I was 8 and have never once changed my mind. I won't beat my child. Never smoking a single cigarette. Not even one. I worked selling them at a gas station once, and that did make me curious once I learned about all the varieties, but it's a risk that has no upside, and crippling downside. I don't even smoke joints, though am not nearly as against that as I am cigarettes. I will earn good money and help my family. I refuse to compromise who I am for monetary gain. Promised this to myself around 8 years old as I started to get a grasp on how society functions. That's a very vague description, but what it really boils down to is that I refuse to step on other people's heads to get ahead, refuse to do work I find immoral or a detriment to the world's society, and refuse to put my work life ahead of my personal life. My family is frustrated with me as I am not living up to my full potential, but am not here to grind away at a soulless job to buy stuff to make other people think I'm successful. I'm here to walk in the woods and look at bees and stuff, and I make enough money to support myself while still having enough energy to walk in the woods and look at bees and stuff. It might not be good enough for everyone else, but it's how I choose to exist. I told my girlfriend that when I say I promise, then I mean what I say. Still live by that rule. Lying. My dad said to me one time, no one does what they say they will do anymore. Just let your yes be yes and your no be no, and you will get ahead in life. At like age 15, that just sunk into my soul, and I haven't told a single lie about anything in over 15 years. Still sticking by the golden rule. Treat others how you want to be treated. Never failed me, never will. I promise to never smoke a cigarette. Never have and never will. I won't lose that child spirit that finds things beautiful and fun. When I was little, I fell on my head and had to go to the to get stitches from where, among other injuries, the metal barrettes cut into my scalp. I've never worn metal barrettes since. That if a family member, even the ones I'm not fond of, is taken seriously ill, I'll visit as frequently as I can to the end. When I was 13, my great-grandmother fell extremely ill while in a home. The type of ill where if your dog went like it, you'd put it down out of mercy. 2 months she was in that state, and each time I had an opportunity to visit I always said next time, so I could play Pokemon on the GB. My reasoning was, I felt ill playing in a car and the home was an hour away. When she died, it absolutely broke me. I wasted those chances. I was a mess for weeks before I broke down. Growing up, I've had all my grandparents die, and I spent every second I could at their best side, watching other family members, fully grown adults, making the same mistake I did in my youth, same with friends doing the same. Even if I don't like or care for a family member, I never, ever want to experience that guilt again. A bit NSFW, I've never faked an orgasm, and never will. Sometime in my 20s, I decided that I wasn't ever going to compromise my own pleasure just to suit the ego of an insecure male partner. Nobody's worth that. If I don't get off in any given sexual encounter, maybe it's okay and maybe it's not, depending on the circumstances. But I ain't going to lie about it and fake it. You never know what someone else is going through. It costs nothing to be kind. I had a lot of people be incredibly rude to me while I went through some really not good things as a teenager working in a service job. I swore to never be that person to someone else, and as far as I know, I never have been.